a racist family who hung an effigy of a black neighbor, put it up for a mask. They were fined $90,000. Keep that up. I'm taking you to Illinois. Cheryl Hampton and her son, Chad Hampton, mother-son duo there, okay, waged a months-long campaign of racial harassment and intimidation against their black next-door neighbor in 2020, must now pay him $90,000 in damages after a historic ruling found that they violated the state's hate crime law. The pair were found by Carroll County Circuit Court Judge Jerry Kane to have engaged in intimidation and disorderly conduct toward their neighbor, Gregory Johnson, who was black, while also subjecting him to escalating racial harassment. I'm going to give you the background. The friction between Johnson and his white neighbors began in July 2020, when he noticed damage to his lawn that he believed was caused by a riding lawnmower used by the Hamptons. He erected an orange retractable fence on his property line to prevent the mower from crossing into his yard. Cheryl Hampton told Johnson to remove the fence. And after he declined to remove the fence, he found it had been cut in half the next day. So he called the police. Savannah Police Department Lieutenant Daniel Nevels responded and spoke to Cheryl Hampton, who told him in reference to her dispute with Johnson that she did not want N-words living next to her, the lawsuit said. While she talked to the officer, her son, Chad Hampton, ran a Confederate flag up a flagpole in view of Johnson's home. When Nevels left, Johnson said he witnessed Chad Hampton spray his lawn with weed killer, destroying the grass along the property line. Hampton later later pulled up and damaged more of the fence. Johnson also reported these actions to the police, who charged Hampton with a misdemeanor criminal damage to property. Let's go to September 23rd, 2020. Chad Hampton spray painted large swastikas with black paint on the garage door of his rental property in direct view of Johnson's home. Johnson was upset due to the symbol's historical and present-day association with white supremacist ideology, the complaint said, and took photos of the swastikas and called the police. So October 19th, 2020, Chad Hampton was arraigned in court on the misdemeanor charge stemming from his spraying weed killer on the Johnson's lawn. A week later, Johnson saw a black dummy hanging by a noose from a tree in the Hamptons' yard. The body of the figure included stuffed jeans with the torso and arms covered by a stuffed beige zip-up jacket, clothing similar to what Johnson was known to wear. A large chain was wrapped around the hands, over the shoulders, and behind the neck of the figure. Startled upon seeing it, Johnson interpreted the figure as a threat on his life and his personal safety, the lawsuit says. He went to the police station to report it and urged them to arrest the Hamptons for a hate crime. So meanwhile, Savannah residents noticed this racist thing and began posting it online, while also phoning in complaints to the mayor's office. Later that day, the lieutenant, he comes to observe the hanging figure and photographed it. Savannah police officer Corey Drown spoke with Cheryl Hampton, who told him she had hung it on the tree. Nevels also saw the Confederate flag and the N-word painted in the window. Hampton admitted the flag was hers. The following day, the complaint said Savannah Mayor Chris Lane and Nevels came back and tried to talk Cheryl Hampton into removing the figure from the tree, telling her it appeared to be a racist symbol and would likely be offensive to the black man living next door. Cheryl Hampton refused and claimed the hanging figure was a Halloween decoration. She also told them she was tired of her neighbors' complaints and was angry that her son had to take a day off work to attend court. Now, so the mayor and the lieutenant says, hey, Cheryl, listen, Some people are going to think that what you're doing here is racist. It may be offensive to your black neighbors. Guys, that's the whole damn purpose. That's the intent. Any other answer from her is gaslighting, and you know it. Talk to her like she's an adult. And if she doesn't want to comply with the basic rules here, where the hell is the HOA Karen? Go ahead and arrest her, okay? Hell, you can just cite her on basic intimidation under the federal rule of housing. October 27, 2020. Nevels, after consulting with the Carroll County State's Attorney's Office, returned to the Hamptons' residence with Savannah police and arrested Cheryl Hampton for harassment of a witness. That is a felony, by the way. 2 officers cut down the hanging figure from the tree. Its bulky size and weight and placement of the tree led them to believe that Cheryl Hampton, who was 5'2" and 65 years of age, could not have done this by herself. While the criminal charges against the Hamptons were awaiting adjudication in court, the Attorney General Raoul led a hate crimes bill, an investigation, assisted by the city and the county police and prosecutors. His office filed the proper civil hate crime lawsuit against the mother and son due in June 2020. The combination of criminal actions of hateful speech and conduct engaged by the Hamptons allowed Raoul, the Attorney General, to charge them civilly with violating the Hate Crimes Act under expanded authority granted via a 2018 amendment to the law. In April of 2024, Cheryl Hampton was sentenced to 3 years in prison for harassing a witness, having pleaded guilty a month earlier, the Shaw Local reported. After Chad Hampton was found not guilty of the misdemeanor criminal damage to property, she tried to withdraw her guilty plea, saying in a motion that she only pleaded guilty to protect her son from prosecution, who was the actual instigator and facilitator of the offense of witness intimidation. Her motion was denied by the Carroll County Circuit Court. Jerry Kane, now both mother and son, have been found civilly liable by the same judge for hate crimes. Each was ordered on the 6th of January to pay $45,000 in damages to Johnson, $5,000 in the state to the state in civil penalties. Put up the pictures again. Love it when a plan comes together. All right, Sharon, this is what leadership looks like. The Attorney General found the nuances of the law to do this properly, and that's why it stuck. It seems odd, but they had a new revision in the law that allowed this. The local police were not aware of this new revision. They, in their credit, went to the state attorney seeking an opportunity to do something within the confine of law, and they found it. And because of that, they were able to serve justice to this victim, to serve justice for this victim who's being harassed by his neighbors. What say you?
Yeah, it's almost perfect. And 90,000 is not enough, but I'll take it, Doc. I'll take it, okay? Because this is a vile act. It's not just against Mr. Johnson, this art installation that they hung from a tree, but against the entire community who began calling and saying, we weren't trying to shed our past here. We don't like this. It's a threat. And that's exactly what it was meant to be. So I love that they just followed the law. And I don't care if this Karen, who was sentenced to 3 years, I don't really care why she pled guilty. You raised a racist, you're part of this thing. So good on all of it.
Yeah, there you go.